Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of From My Desk to Yours. Today I'm going to be going over a brand new feature that just released earlier this month that you may have missed because it had a not so exciting name, and that is the task groups and task improvements feature. So a lot came out under the umbrella of this feature, so today we're going to break down exactly what is included in that kind of broad and a little bit boring sounding name and how you can use it and apply it and adapt it to your business workflows. So I'm going to go through two use cases today. The first one involves a sales scenario. Now, we're going to run through a sales scenario, but you can apply this to your service teams, your dispatchers, your field techs, anyone that you like can use this feature, and that is task groups. So like I said, we're going to do this in a sales scenario. So we're going to start by looking for a lead. And first one I see here is Princess Consuela. And if you watch Friends, you know her full name is Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. So we're going to go onto her account. And in this scenario, say you are working on a sales team and you are in a region with a couple other of sales members and you all kind of work leads together. So when we have a lead in the queue, we might not want to assign a task to follow up with that lead to get their main contact information or a contract signed to an individual person, but rather to a group of people and who can pick up those tasks depending on their expertise, the time that they have available to them, whatever. As I'm describing this probably sounds very similar to ticket groups, and that's because it functions in a very similar way. So previously when you assigned a task to an account, you could either leave it as a general task in the account unassigned, or you could assign it to an individual user. There was the option to create a ticket and then add that ticket to a ticket group, but that would not solve the problem, as if there are multiple tasks on that ticket that you want people to be able to pull from, they would still have to go in and individually assign that to themselves by looking on the ticket. So instead we have now task groups. So I have pre-set up a task group for our sales team in here. So I'm going to go to the tasks section of the account overview page, and we're going to click the drop down menu and create from template. So as I said, this is a sales scenario, so we're going to choose new account, and that gives us the list that I have predefined are my new account checklist. So I'm going to create that, and because I have pre-assigned this also in my settings to go to the sales group, you can see that it automatically assigns to the sales group, not an individual user. Now you can see these tasks at the account level, but I as an individual user, if I go to my user profile, I can go to this tasks section, and it will show me, if I go to the unassigned task tab, all the tasks that are in my task group that no one has picked up yet. And if I have time to call the customer and query them on their, say, business hours or the best hours to contact them if they're a residential user, and I can just go ahead and assign this to myself. You can see our team has a lot of fun with our training instance, and so today I am Adam Sandler. And then this will move from the unassigned tasks in my task group to my incomplete tasks, and then I can manage my task list from here. The other place that we can see all of our tasks, or anyone can view anyone's tasks in the instance, is on this sidebar menu, our main menu. You now see that there's a brand new menu item called tasks. And if we collapse it, it's really easy to tell it's a task because it's a checkbox. I think that is the universal symbol for tasks. And if I come here, this will show every single task in the instance that is incomplete or complete. And we can filter by teams, task groups, and any other filter here if we want to. So if I, as a manager, want to see all the unassigned tasks by multiple teams, I can go ahead and set up a save filter and do that and view them here. So that is task groups in a nutshell. As you can see, they can apply to way more than just a sales scenario. You could use them for your support teams, your dispatch teams, really any group of people who share tasks and need to be flexible in the way that tasks are assigned. Task groups will be a really great fit for. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the next part of this feature release, which is everything else that was covered under the general task improvements features. So I'm going to go back to our accounts list, and we're going to look for the first active account we see, which in this case is Ross Geller. And we're going to run through a scenario which these task improvements might be useful for a field technician. So let's say that Ross has called in and he's having issues with his Wi-Fi that can't be troubleshooted just simply over the phone. So as a CSR, I'd likely take the steps to create a job. In this case, our job is simply called Network Connectivity Issues. Create it, and we'll go ahead and schedule it to myself, and I'll pick today's date, and that job is scheduled. So now as the technician, let's say I am ready to check into this job. So I'm going to click check in, and we're going to see that on the job itself I have a task template already applied. Now this feature is not new. This has been in Sonar for quite some time, where on any given job you can kind of pre-apply a task template of what that technician will need to do while they're in site. The aspect that's new here is something that's kind of invisible when you first glance at it, which is the service completion date. So this service completion date, you can see, is related to a custom field, and when I go to complete it, it's asking me to fill in the custom field. What's really different about this is that if I went to edit the job, there is no custom field on this job called what was this called again? No field called last service date. So if we're looking for the custom field called last service date, it doesn't exist here. So this is what's new and exciting, is that that custom field that we're filling out is going to fill out that value at the account level. So if I as a CSR want to be able to at a glance tell when the last time a technician was out at a customer site, we do have a custom field here called last service date. And when the technician fills that field out on the job, it will auto-populate that field on the account. Now, this is not just in relation from jobs to accounts. There are lots of links in the back end between jobs and, well, let's have a look. If we go into our tasks and task templates, when we go to create let's edit a task template, we have to choose the intended entity type. So we're creating this for, let's say, an entity on a ticket we want to fill out, or we're creating it for an entity on an address. So there is so much flexibility built into this feature where tasks on in one area of the business can auto-populate or auto-set something in a completely other area. So let's finish this workflow to see what that looks like exactly. Actually, I always forget about this shortcut, so we're going to use it, this little clock. We're going to go right back to Ross's page, back to our job, and we are going to fill out the last service date was today. That was the last time I was there. Well, I'm just going to leave these blank for now, just so I can complete the job. They're not required. Oh, they are required. There we go. Inspect. I need to upload a photo. Need to see our little brand guide. And same for the very last one. We'll do the same thing. Okay, now we can complete the job. And if we go to the account, okay, if we go to Ross's account, we will now see that the last service date is visible on the account overview page because it's filled out. It wasn't visible before because it was blank. And the data that we put in while completing the job has now auto-populated here. So that is super cool. And again, this should really just kind of open your imagination to how this could possibly work for your business, because there are too many use cases to count, but it gives you lots of flexibility in terms of getting data in your instance in an efficient way. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope that's exciting to you. As you start to use either task groups or the task templates and the improvements around that functionality, please let me know. I'd love to share any interesting or unique use cases with the rest of our Sonar community. So have a great rest of your day, and talk to you guys soon. Bye.